Hi, it's Donna from Olivia and Marie Create. It's so great to be back. I know it's been a while, but I haven't been very well. That's one of the things I wanted to say to you. If you've been looking for my Make With Me series, my video series where I did pajama sewing early in the morning, I have decided to move that to a Facebook group because I think that's a better venue for it. It's better if everybody who comes there knows what it's for, that I'm not demonstrating anything for you, that it's you bring your project and we work together for 20 minutes every day in silence just to finish your project. So we can sort of drop into creative flow and do that. And I will in the those during those times I will start with a few words and then I'll drop us into creative flow. I'll do a little creative flow exercise and then set the timer for 20 minutes and I will sew and you can finish. You can work on your project. I started doing this because I want to change something and I wanted some sort of accountability. I want to change the fact that I start making quilts but I don't finish making quilts. I set an intention to finish some of my big long list of quilts that I'm working on, that I started but haven't finished. And I want to work on the idea that just doing a small amount every day, just 20 minutes every day, will transform the project and will transform my life, really. And that's true for your life as well. If you want to change something, you need to set an intention, commit to it, and take action. Regular small action, regular small steps will change your life. Okay, so if you want that, there will be a link in the notes below to go to my new Facebook group, which is called the Makers Space. And it's a Facebook group from my Facebook page for Olivia and Marie Create. So you're all welcome. Please come and bring whatever project you have. Okay, and I hope I see you there. The time will starting from tomorrow morning will be at 8:30 in the morning, or 8:30 in the morning, and we'll see if that works for everyone in UK time. Okay, all right. So today I want to talk to you about something totally different. I want to talk to you about your body, or more specifically, your relationship to your body. Now, hang on, you might be saying, wait, I just came for the potholder tutorials. I don't know what this has to do with creativity, and I really don't want to talk about my body or my relationship to my body. So, here's the thing, hear me out. Your body is the best tool that you have for getting into creative flow, okay? So, that's why it's relevant. You need your body to get into creative flow. And your relationship with your body is most probably stopping you from getting into creative flow or changing your life, right? So I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to help you, find your passion and use creativity as a tool to create your bodacious creative adventure of a life, right? But I decided that that is really too broad of a thing to help you with, right? To get a bodacious creative adventure of a life. And you probably don't lay awake at night going, gee, I wish I had a bodacious creative adventure of a life. You might lay awake at night thinking you want your life to change, but you wouldn't necessarily say in that specific way. So what I want to help you with is something that you probably do lay awake at night worrying about, and that is your body and the relationship you have to your body and how you feel about your body. Yeah? Um, because in addition to stopping you from getting into creative flow and changing your life, your relationship to your body, if you're like a lot of women and men, actually, although it shows up sort of differently for them, I think. But if you're like most of us, your relationship to your body probably is also kind of makes you feel sucky. Yeah? It probably doesn't make you feel great. You're probably not going, oh yeah, I'm digging it. I'm loving my body. It makes me feel great. You probably don't, because that's not how most of us are. Yeah? So I want to help you with that. So in this video today, I'm going to talk to you about your relationship with your body and my relationship to my body too. Yeah? I'm not just pointing fingers, people. And how you can change it. Okay? How you can change it and what that might look like. Okay? So make sure you watch to the end of the video because what I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to share 3 tools that I use to change my relationship to my body. Okay? So Does any of this sound like you? Hands up, people. Put in something in the comments below. Just say, yes, I hear you, girl, or something like that. If any of this sounds like something that you have said to yourself or thought when you're laying awake at night, or something that's tortured you, a thought that has tortured you at some point. Damn, I really wish I did not eat that whole box of cookies. Why can't I just have a normal relationship with food? Why do I just keep dieting and losing weight and regaining the same 30 pounds back and forth again? Yeah. I don't want to diet. I don't want to count or weigh or measure or check the points or, follow some plan that some guru somewhere has told me that I need to follow for about food. Okay? I just don't want to be thinking about food that much. I don't want to obsess about food. Yeah? Or what about this one? I hate my thighs, booty, tummy, face, chicken wings, boobies, whatever it is. Fill in the blank. You fill in the blank. If you've thought any of those things, it kind of sucks, doesn't it? Those are not great ways to feel in your relationship to your body and your relationship to food. So I know exactly how you feel because I used to be that way too. I used to have all those feelings too. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I stand about 5 foot. You probably can't tell from the video because it's horizontal. I'm about 5 foot, and my kids probably say I'm exaggerating to say I'm 5 feet tall. So, and I have always been a little bit curvy, right? And I grew up in a family of Amazons. Okay, I'm here to tell you, my family is really tall and really skinny, and people who never had any issues with food. My mom used to actually drink milkshakes with an egg inside them to try to gain weight. Okay, and they just never had any issues around food, and they also had flat bottoms, right? Completely flat backsides. Okay, unlike myself, who has back. You can't see that either, but this girl got back, okay? Even when I was young and crispy and I was running 5 miles a day, 5 days a week, before I'd had kids, I was a size 0 blouse, American sizes, and I was a size 8 or 10 skirt. Yeah, bit of a difference, right? So this girl got back. And needless to say, growing up in that sort of environment, I hated my body. I did not like my body to be my mom and my dad. I didn't like my body at all. But it took me a long time to realize, first of all, that I wasn't fat. I just had a different build to them. Um, and I used to, secretly, I had a different relationship to food as well because my mom wanted me to lose weight. She wanted to help me. Bless her. She was trying to help me. And she would always notice when I ate. And so I used to like hide in the kitchen and eat. Like I used to eat like a pack of Oreos, or I used to get a bowl and put like blue cheese dressing in it and eat it with a spoon. I know it's gross. It makes my stomach hurt to think of it to this day. But anyway, so I had sort of a tortured relationship with food and with my body when I was growing up. And eventually, when I went off to university, I did in fact start to gain weight. I gained about 15 pounds and then I lost it. And then I just started a cycle of, I didn't like diets. I don't like being told what to do by anyone. But I would sort of change my eating habits, eat healthier and like avoid certain foods and exercise. And then I would lose weight. Excuse me. And then I would go back to my normal eating habits and to not exercising, and I would gain the weight back again. And so it was a vicious cycle. Excuse me a sec. And eventually, after many years, I decided I just didn't want to do that anymore. Yeah, I just did not want to continue to have that crazy making relationship with food and with my body. And at this point, I had kids of my own, and they were fairly grown. They were up in the about almost university age. They may have actually started university at that point. I can't remember, and I can't remember the timeline. But anyway, I had made some food for them, something for them that they really love, and they weren't eating it. And I said to them, I, for you, and I made it, and you're not eating it. What's going on? Is it not right? And they said, no, Mom, it's okay. It's good. We just don't like, we just aren't hungry. And I was like, well, but it's your favorite menu for it. And they said, yeah, but we're just not hungry. And you don't understand. It doesn't matter. You put our favorite plate of food in front of us. I'm not hungry. I'm not going to eat it. And they both said this. And I thought, that's a revelation to me. Because imagine this. Like, I could not imagine this. If I went to a restaurant that had like a 6-course tasting thing, and I got about to course 4, and I was full, the food would taste, I would just keep eating, right? And you put something down in front of me that I kind of like, and I'm just going to keep eating because it was pretty good. And I used to think that that was because I just loved food. But I decided when I heard my kids say this, I thought, hang on a minute, they just have a different mindset to me. Because at the end of the day, it's not that I love food so much that keeps me eating, right? For some reason, I am eating even though it's making my stomach hurt. So I am overcoming the discomfort that it's causing me to eat, right? And I was like, well, that's not good. Why am I willing to take on this pain in order to eat? That's not a good thing. That's more than just I love this. I love food so much. That's something different. It's a different mindset. So I realized at that point that I needed to change my relationship to food, and I just wanted to be able to be normal around food. So how did I do that? And how can you do that too? So the thing is, I realized, first of all, that if I'm going to change my relationship to food, I wanted to change so that I would make food my friend. Because all those years I was fighting, sorry, not food, my body. I wanted to make my body my friend. Because all those years I was fighting my body when it came to food and exercise. And hey, I'm back. Sorry. I was saying I wanted to make my body my friend instead of instead of I've completely lost my train of thought now. I wanted to make my body my friend instead of hating it into thinness. And as part of that, I wanted to make food my friend instead of treating it sort of like a toxic lover that kept showing up on my bed and making me feel really ashamed and embarrassed afterwards. And I also wanted to make my mind my friend because I talked a little bit about how I felt about myself, the thoughts that I had in my head, like I hate my thighs and I hate my butt and I hate my boobs and I hate my chicken wings. I hate everything about my body. My mind was abusing me, and it was manipulating me as well into doing exercise I didn't like and eating foods that I didn't like. So I wanted to change that. I wanted to make my mind my friend as well. In the same way that when I talk about creative flow, where I talk about the mind is voiced by our inner critic, right? The mind is those thoughts that we have all day long and a lot of them come from the inner critic, and they're quite negative. You can never make them go away. But you can bring her in and listen to her and say, okay, yeah, that's cool, but you can sit there, but I'm going to keep doing what I do anyway. It's the same kind of thing. I wanted to make my mind my friend so it would stop manipulating me and abusing me and making me hate my body. And lastly, I wanted to make my soul or spirit or inner wisdom or intuition or whatever you want to call it. I wanted to make that my friend because I knew that that was a similar part of my body. It was like my body. It was the nonverbal part of myself, and that still small voice that I had inside myself that would tell me really useful things, and I kept ignoring it. So I didn't want to keep ignoring it in the same way that I ignored my body. Okay, so how did I do all this? Okay, how did I change my relationship to my body and make my body and food and my mind and my spirit my friends? And how can you do this too? Well, the first thing I realized is not only can I not ignore my body anymore, I have to love my body. Really? As it is right now. All the flibby flabby bits and all the wrinkly bits, because let's face it, at my age, there's plenty of wrinkles. Yeah, I have to love my body as it is. I can't change it unless I love it. Okay? I can't change what I eat. and what I do unless I love my body, right? So, because my body's not going to trust me. And it's not going to guide me in the right way unless I love it, right? I have to develop, if I'm going to change that relationship, I need to love it. And that, my friends, it's a hard thing to do. And I still struggle with it a little bit. But one of the best things that I did to change that, to love my body, to learn to love my body as it is I started to do gratitude journal. Now, I know, I'm not a journaling person, okay? Every time you probably hear this all the time. Do journal this, journal that. I don't like to journal. I'm always the one in the back going, yeah, I think I'll skip that. I'll try something else. There's got to be something better. Here's the thing. I did this every night. I had a journal, and and it wasn't a big book either. And I said, I'm not going to write more than a page, and I'm going to write 5 things that I'm grateful for in very like bullet points, and sometimes it could be one word, like a name of a person. But my body's always going to be in there in some way. And one of the things that I realized was, so, because you might think, well, what do I have to be grateful about? This body, it's caused me so much pain and agony. But I realized that's because I was focusing on the negative stuff, right? You know how the brain works, where we have this negative bias, right? We only see the things that confirm our negative thoughts. And any evidence to the contrary, we ignore, right? So I decided I need to start focusing on the good stuff. So I thought, what is good about my body? Well, it's given me 2 great kids, right? Tick, that's going on the list. Yeah, love my kids. And this body gave me those kids. Yay! I grew them inside me, which I remind my kids of when they drive me nuts. I grew you! So I focus on the good things. It gave me my kids. I kind of like my hair, although right now it needs a little bit of work. I tell you, I need a hairdresser. I moved and I'm struggling to find a hairdresser. But anyway, I love my hair. I love my eyes and my smile. There's always something that you can think about your body, and you can get even deeper as well, because when you see people who are differently able to us, who have things about their body, they're confined to a wheelchair, and they're not able to do things like I like to do. Like I love to go out hiking and walking in the woods. I would struggle to do that if my body were confined to a wheelchair, and it's not. And the more that I walk, the stronger it gets. And my body has enabled me to sew. I love sewing and making things with my hands all the time. So I love my hands. So there's so much to love about your body. Start with the stuff that you think is kind of cool and that helps you do good stuff. And then you will eventually get to the stuff that's, my thighs are kind of flibby flabby. And so with those bingo wings, but you know what? I still love those now too, because it's all a part of me. Okay? Let's start with the easy stuff. Okay, so the first thing, how do you change your relationship to your body? You love your body. Okay? There's other ways to love your body too, but I'm going to let you figure those out for yourself, girls. Okay? No, there's other ways, and I'll talk about those in future videos. Right. But that's the first thing. Start to love your body. And the second thing is you've got to start to listen to your body, right? People you love, you listen to. Okay, like my kids would differ. They would say to me, Mom, are you actually listening to me? Or are you doing that mom thing where you're just going, yeah, every few minutes and not taking any notice? Which I have to admit, I told them I do sometimes. So it's fair enough that they call me on it. But generally speaking, if you love people and they're telling you something, you are going to listen. And it's the same with your body. Your body will tell you, right? Here's the thing. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky, right? So I remember when I was young, my mom used to get up early every morning and make bacon for my dad. She used to cook breakfast for him. Cooked breakfast every day. And she hated it. She hated making cooked breakfast. And she told me once one of the reasons is she loved bacon. And she loved the smell of bacon. But she never ate breakfast. She only ever had a cup of coffee. And she longed to eat that bacon. And she said to me that the reason she didn't eat the bacon was because she was afraid that if she started eating that bacon, she would not stop eating the whole day. Right? Because even though my mom was naturally thin and worked hard to lose weight, to gain weight when she was young, as she got older, her body changed. Right? And so she had issues. And so she didn't want to overeat. She wanted to take care of herself. So she's doing it presumably to be healthy, right? It's not healthy necessarily to eat bacon every day. So she wouldn't eat it because she was afraid also that she would not stop eating. Here's the thing. we now know that that's complete BS. We now know that that is completely the opposite of how our brain and our body works, right? So the body was designed to keep us from starving to death back in the prehistoric days, right? When food was hard to come by, okay? So when we deny our body food, when our body says, "Oh, I love that the smell of bacon. I want some bacon," and we say, "No, we're not going to do that," what happens is our body just wants that bacon more. So that's why you end up eventually when you do like I do and you go eat nice healthy foods and you exercise and you get down to your ideal fighting weight, that you think of as the real you, and then eventually you cave and you go back to eating all the way that you always did it, eating too much, and you gain the weight back because your body just wants what it wants. So, and what we also know, however, is that the way to stop it from doing that, from caving and going back and eating everything and regaining the weight, the way to stop it from doing that is to give it what it wants, right? So if you want bacon, have bacon, right? Your body might at first go, "Oh my God, bacon, bacon, bacon." And then after a while, when you get what you want and you tell your body, "There's plenty of bacon. There is an abundance of bacon. There's more bacon than we could ever eat in this world. And whenever we want it, we're going to have it." Then at that point, our body will go, "Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I'm good. I don't need any bacon today." In fact, maybe we should have a smoothie because we've been eating a lot of bacon, girl. And I know it sounds weird and I know it sounds irrational, but trust me, it works. There's a great story in a Martha Beck book called The 4-Day Win, where she talks about I think it was like a cookie company or a chocolate company, where they used to have a rule that said employees are not allowed to eat the product, right? No eating the product. And they had a lot of problems because people would just constantly eat these cookies or chocolates or whatever it was. And then finally they decided, well, this isn't working. We have to try something different. So then they said, okay, yeah, eat everything whatever you want. All the cookies you want, eat them. Just eat whatever you want. We changed the rule now, you're good. And they said for new employees, after about 3 days, they'd eaten all the cookies they wanted, they were good. And then they didn't really eat that many cookies anymore. It wasn't a big deal. So, and that's because we are so used to being in a scarcity mindset, guys. And I'm not just talking about food, but food is a good example. We're so used to being in a scarcity mindset. Oh, we might run out, right? At my house, have you ever been to a meal at my house? Oh my Lord, there's enough food, especially on a holiday, like Thanksgiving. Oh my God, there's always so much food because I'm terrified of running out, right? And this scarcity mindset is what makes our body want more and want more and want more and want more. So if we say to ourselves, to our body, okay, yeah, my body wants bacon, I'm gonna have some bacon. And we do that and get to the point where our body realizes it can have anything it wants, it will stop. And it knows what's good for us and it will want. I believe it. I know it sounds wacky, but it's true. I have desires now for certain things. I don't just have desires for like sweet stuff, which I still do. I still have a bit of a sweet tooth, but I also have desires for things like I'll think, I feel like having some green beans randomly, okay? Very randomly, because I'm not that much of a vegetable person, but I will have desires for these things because my body needs it. It knows that I need some greens or it knows that I need the vegetables. Anyway, sorry, that went a long time. So we're loving our bodies, we're listening to our bodies and giving them what they want. So you're going to love your body and you're going to listen to your body. And the last thing goes back to what we were talking about at the very beginning, which is creativity and creative flow. Creative flow is a great way to get in touch with your body, right? Because when you get into creative flow, you're getting out of your verbal brain, right? Your verbal mind and the old inner critic and all that kind of stuff. And you are going straight into the nonverbal bits, the body and the soul or spirit or intuition or inner mind or whatever, inner wisdom, whatever you want to call it. So the more time you can spend in creative flow, you start out by checking in with your body and you start noticing your body. And I find when I'm creating now, I'm very aware of my body. Like I used to sit in real funny positions when I sew, kind of like this, hunched over the sewing machine. Now I'm much more aware of my body. I have a mental trigger when I press the sewing foot and start to sew a line. I suddenly remember, okay, shoulders back, engage core, right? Protect my back, protect my shoulders. I'm noticing my body the whole time. Because in creative flow, remember what we want to do. We want to get out of the past and out of the future. We basically get out of our mind, those thoughts in our mind, and get into the nonverbal bits. And so we're paying attention to our body and to our inner wisdom. And we're trying to clear our mind and stay in the present moment. Because that's all we got, folks. Okay? The past is gone. Future ain't here yet. Can't do anything about it. All we got is now, the present. And I tell you another thing, the present, staying in the present will help you so much with those longings for food. Because getting stuck in the past or stuck in the future worrying about things creates longings that we can't fulfill. If we stay in the present moment, that's the only thing we have, and that will give us fulfillment. We cannot get fulfillment if we say at a future time we'll never feel fulfilled. We're always chasing something. So anyway, that's a different level, but just to recap, your relationship to your body stops you not only from getting into creative flow, but from changing your life. But you can change your relationship with your body. You can make your body your friend. You can make food your friend. You can make your mind your friend, because your mind, where all the verbal stuff that's going on, you can make it your friend, and that will get it to calm down and quiet down. And then you can get in touch with your body and your spirit. And you can make your spirit your friend as well. And listen to that still small voice inside you that doesn't really speak because it's not verbal. You just feel something and you know that it's true. Okay? When we can do all of those things, we will get our body and our mind and our spirit back in alignment, because at the moment it's lopsided. We are trained to ignore our body and our spirit and listen only to that verbal part of our brain. And that is not good for us. It's got us totally out of whack. Thank you, Locke and Kant and all those guys from the Age of Reason back in the 1800s. That worked for you then, but it's not working for us now because we are so skewed so far in the direction of our mind. We need to get a little bit more balance. I'm not saying ignore your mind, but I'm saying stop ignoring your body and bring your body and your mind and your spirit back into alignment. Give them equal attention. And that will bring you back into alignment and help stop all of the sucky feelings that you get around your body and your negative relationship with your body. Make your body your friend, baby. Okay, so that's it. That's my new focus, and I'm going to stick with this for a while, because that's really kind of around the edges of what I was doing before, but I feel like it's honing in on the things that can really help you. I hope you find this helpful. If you do, please leave a comment below and say, yay, this really helped me, Donna. If you have something about your